cold form for Stoke City this season. Follows the ball in after a great ball from Alaba, and it's 1-1.
Well, Austria are back on level terms. A great ball in from David Alaba. Finds Marko Arnautovic, another Stoke man, scoring this evening. Joe Allen put Wales ahead, but a night dominated by the men from the Potteries. Lovely curling ball played in. Arnautovic just managed to get in ahead of the defence, times his run to perfection, and just cushions that ball in with his head. A nice, cool finish from the Austrian number 7, and it's all square in Vienna.
All square in Vienna. Just having a look at that replay. Should Hennessy not be coming out for that one a little bit quicker? It's a very good ball from Alaba. You've got to say that. He really does put in exactly the right place, just in between the goalkeeper and the defenders. But considering that Hennessy doesn't really make a block, he just sort of puts his hands down just as, and the head is only just flicked past him as well. I think that Wayne Hennessy will be a little bit disappointed with that, Alex. I don't know what you think, but it doesn't look good from the goal. I can understand that it's a very good ball from Alaba, but it just doesn't look good from the goalkeeper's point of view.
No, maybe he should be coming out and smothering it, but I think it's a clever finish from Arnautovic because he heads it into the ground, which makes it more difficult for the keeper. It's an awkward angle. I think Hennessy would be more disappointed his defence weren't on top of Arnautovic. He was the only man making that run, and he just got ahead. As I said, it was a fantastic run from Arnautovic from that left-hand side. And yeah, cool finish.
He was, and as I say, Wales are probably keeping their eye on Mark Janko, the big tall centre forward, and suddenly Arnautovic, as I say, just drifts in from the left wing and gets his first goal in these 2 games that he's played so far in the World Cup qualifiers. And it's a free kick now to Austria on the halfway line. So 29 minutes gone here in Vienna, and it's all level. Wales took the lead unexpectedly, you would say, because they didn't have too much attacking possession. But since then, Austria have just tried to keep a bit more of the ball, and in the end, just a bit of persistence paid off for them down that right-hand side. The ball played back to Baumgartlinger. He plays it square to Alaba. Excellent ball from the Bayern Munich man, and then a very clever finish from the Stoke City man. So as Alex was saying in the update there, we've had 2 goals scored this evening, both men playing for Mark Hughes' Stoke City. Although I'm sure Mark Hughes, being the patriot he is, would prefer that perhaps Arnautovic is just nothing more than a consolation and that Wales still go on to win the game.
Yeah, I mean, and Chris Coleman will be so frustrated. I mean, 6 minutes between the goals. You've taken the lead away from home. A fantastic finish. And there hadn't been really much of a threat from Austria going forward. Just one simple ball played in, header, and suddenly all that hard work you'd put in over half an hour or so is undone. So he'll be really frustrated, but you know, Wales are one apiece, of course, certainly well in this game.
They are certainly well in this game, although it's Austria now who really are getting the lion's share of possessions. Pretty much since Wales scored, you could say, but certainly since Austria have scored, they've pretty much been holding on to the ball exclusively. Now it's Baumgartlinger who plays the ball out towards the left-hand side. Wimmer's ball in towards the edge of the area. Arnautovic skips away from Chester. Oh, and then 2 Austria players getting each other's way. Arnautovic was already waiting to take the shot himself, and it's his teammate that gets in his way. Let's just see that we can get it right who it was. I don't want to be naming the wrong player. Is that Sabitzer, is it? Or it's Junuzovic who gets in Arnautovic's way there. Maybe there's a bit of a clumsy challenge from Williams as well, do you think?
There is. I mean, there didn't seem to be much of an appeal. We'll see it again. The Collar's having a word, saying that there was a foul there, but
either a foul or he had 2 fingers, or maybe he was sort of saying that why are 2 of my players bumping into each other that way, because they did get in each other's way there. As we see that in this group, it's still Moldova 0, Serbia 1, and Republic of Ireland 0. Georgia 0. Ireland don't want to let that score drag on for too long, because Georgia are one of those teams that once they bed down, they can become very awkward. But they're essentially a side that are very beatable, really.
They are, but I mean, Scotland fans will tell you that you know, Georgia were the undoing of Scotland, really, in their hopes of making France last summer. So they're no mugs, but as you say, at home, they should be really beaten them. It
should be, really. I mean, Poland, remembering when Poland played Georgia in the last World Cup, in the last Euro qualifiers, same group as Scotland, of course, yeah. And I think they were only 1 up with about 3 minutes to go in that game, and then they scored 2 in injury time to make the score look a bit more like you'd expect. But it is a hard place to go. It's one of those games where you really need to just get the points, and it doesn't really matter how you play. But Ireland at home, of course, they should really have enough to take Georgia apart. As it is, Wales are trying to get forward now for the first time in a good while, but James Chester's ball is easily headed away, and it's back on the halfway line. It's with Joe Ledley. He plays it back to Ben Davis, and now here is Ledley again on the left-hand side, looking for the run of Bale, but there's a good challenge there from Klein. He puts it out for a throw. Now it is Bale who's going to take this throw himself. Must forget that Gareth Bale is a throw specialist because he's always in the box trying to head it or hit it himself. But certainly from his Tottenham days, we remember that he always liked to take a long throw. And there's quite a few players to aim for here for Bale as well. Of course, there's a huge running track around this stadium, so there's certainly no problem with having a run-up. And Bale now able to get a really high ball right into the middle of the penalty area. So decent chance, just flicked on by one of the Austria players, and the loose ball is played away by Alaba. It wasn't a good ball from Alaba, and another one is played back in towards the edge of the penalty area by Chester, and eventually it's just marshalled out by Arnautovic. It is a throw on to Austria, but right by their own penalty area. Just saw Ledley trying to beckon a few players closer to do some pressing maybe.
Yeah, and that was a great throw-in from Bale. I've forgotten he was capable of doing that, of course. You forget that he started out as a lowly left back.
Yeah, well, it's not a skill that they use very much at Real, is it? But it's certainly something they should consider. Zinedine Zidane maybe once or twice a game gets a ball in like that from Gareth Bale. Wales have won the ball back actually at the edge of the Austria penalty area, but there's a heavy touch. Just as I think that was on that right-hand side. Was that Gunter coming in? In any case, he couldn't keep it in play on the right-hand side, and eventually it goes out for a goal kick. We're just getting another replay of that Joe Allen goal. It was Chris Gunter, in fact, who headed it across to Joe Allen. He really hits it sweet with the left foot.
He does. I mean, he's not going to hit it much sweeter. He cuts across it nicely just to take it away from Alma. And we see the header again. It's just a clever finish, but you'd want the keeper because he sort of stops, doesn't he?
Exactly, that's what it is, Alex. If he just stays on his line, then you could say he's just been rooted by it. But the fact that he makes 5 or 6 steps forward and then stops, that's basically meaning that he's not coming out for it and he's not staying on his line either. So made Arnautovic's mind up for him, but it was still a very clever finish from the Stoke City man. And here is Arnautovic now. He breaks into the box on the left-hand side, lays it off, and there's a strike from the edge of there. That's a much better save from Wayne Hennessy there. It was Junuzovic with the strike, left-hand edge of the penalty area, really put his right foot through it, but Hennessy gets down and makes the save at his near post. Yeah,
and it's an important save. It almost comes to the bodies there, but Hennessy getting down to his right, getting down low, pushing it away, and that's a good save. Maybe after the error for the goal, that'll give him a confidence boost.
Certainly will, as it's going to be Junuzovic to take this corner kick. It's Austria's third. Wales have had 2 in the same time as the ball is played towards the edge of the area after a defensive header. And I think both sides are appealing either a goal kick or a corner kick. I think the referee has decided it will be another corner kick. Robert Almer just getting a quick word with one of the physios there right at the other end of the pitch. I was wondering maybe if he's feeling a bit of an injury, but he seems to be okay. It's going to be David Alaba from the right-hand side. He is left-footed, so it's going to be an in-swing, and in fact he plays it low along the ground to Arnautovic. Alaba now gets it back and plays another short ball to Arnautovic. They were looking for the 1-2, but Ben Davies saw through that, and eventually a cross into the box is headed away. And now this could be a chance for Wales to go on the counter. A long ball played down the left-hand side, but that was more of a clearance than a pass, really, and Gareth Bale can't get on the end of that one.
Yeah, I mean, they need to get the ball to Bale. Obviously, I've not seen them run at a player. They've not found him and given him the opportunity to run at defenders and cause them problems, which is what he's so good at and what he's made a name out of it, for himself out of. So they need to bring in Bale a bit more. I mean, there's been a lot of stuff that's come to him aerially. That's always going to be difficult for him to take it down. Go aerial to Vokes. Get it on the deck for Bale and then get him running at defenders.
Absolutely. It's his biggest attribute, isn't it? The pace compared to an Austrian defender. Gareth Bale will win a sprint race with any of those. No problem at all. So you've got to try and use that. 36 minutes gone here in Vienna. 1-1 between Austria and Wales. And Wales have just given possession away really inside the Austrian half. Just a short throw. And Neil Taylor wasn't able to keep that one in play. It seems to be working so far. When we've seen Wales have got the 2 wing backs, I suppose, if we're going to use the old-fashioned term, Taylor and Gunter, then the 3 in the middle, Davis, Williams and Chester. But Davis, although he's on paper a centre-back, we've seen that he does like to join as a sort of additional left-back on many occasions.
Yeah, I mean, we saw with the chance for Bale, the strike that came in, decent volley, and Bale almost scoring the opening goal of the game from that move. So yeah, Davis does offer a bit more in attack, and we saw that Gunter set up the goal for Allen as well. So they have been handy in this game.
Certainly have, although it is still Austria that are enjoying more possession. It's Hinteregger now on the halfway line, plays it over to the left-hand side for Arnautovic, and he plays it back into the middle now. It's with Baumgartlinger across towards Florian Klein. Klein gets towards the edge of the area, tries to pick up a 1-2. He does pick up a 1-2. What a run this is from Klein, and a deflection, partially saved by Hennessy. The ball still inside the penalty area. Baumgartlinger tries to get a shot in. His shot is blocked, and he goes down injured as well. Eventually, Joe Allen brings the ball out for Wales, and then Andy King gets more of a clearance on it. The Austria captain is still down, and I think the referee is either asking the Austrian players to kick the ball out, or he's actually going to stop play himself, because Julian Baumgartlinger is in some pain there.
He is. I don't really know why the referee stopped the game. I don't think it was a head injury. Might be corrected here. But anyway, a great save from Hennessy, brought into action again. It was a great play from Austria, really. And then the ball comes and Hennessy gets it away. I think it's... Well, it looks like when he lands,
it might just be
jarred his knee.
Yeah,
he
could have just jarred his knee there. I mean, it's actually a deflection of Ashley Williams that forces this really good save from Hennessy. He sort of zips off Williams' foot as he goes in for a slide tackle. Oh yeah, now both of us wince there. And certainly, as a veteran of knee injuries myself, I doubt that wasn't nice. He does land awkwardly on his right leg there, Julian Baumgartlinger. It's just it's one of those where it's just a sort of a reaction pain rather than actually something very serious.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch that third slow-mo. I mean, it's one where you hope that the leg's just been elastic enough to it looks bad slow motion, but then it could come back. Alma's
yeah, this is well, we mentioned that the last corner kick that Austria had, Alma was down. Alma was just sort of leaning on the post talking to one of the physios. Now that Baumgartlinger is getting some more treatment, we've seen that Robert Alma has actually gone towards the halfway line, and he's just had his leg stretched there by one of the physios. We'll have to wait and see. It looks like he's okay to play on. Perhaps it's a case of just managing him till half-time and then making a decision at half-time whether or not the substitute keeper will need to come on for Austria. Certainly, they're not looking to substitute their captain anytime soon because Baumgartlinger looks fine now.
He does, and well, he wouldn't want to see the replay again. Thankfully, it looks like he's got away with that one, but on the slow-mos, when you come down with your leg straight, as you say, it can cause problems, and just must have jarred it. Always looks worse on the replays, but he's had his treatment, seems to be fine to come back on, so we'll just keep an eye on Baumgartlinger and Alma over the next 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, it was an interesting little discussion there between the Wales players and Arnautovic. I think the Wales players were saying they were just going to give it back to Hennessy and play on from there, whereas Arnautovic was arguing that it was actually Austrian possession, so eventually the ball is played back to Alma. 57% possession for Austria in this first half, 43 for Wales. A lot of that 43% for Wales that has been inside their own half. They've really not had too much possession in the opposition half, but as I say, the scoreline is level, so they won't be too worried about that. There have been a few other goals to tell you about since we last looked. Iceland levelled against Finland, and Finland have since then gone on to go in front again, so they're still keeping our away team run going, I suppose you could say. And Croatia now 3-0 up away at Kosovo, Serbia 2-0 up away at Moldova, and Israel are now 1-0 up away at Macedonia. Still 0-0 between Italy and Spain in that massive qualifier, really. That could easily be a World Cup final, couldn't it? But it's just a qualifier in mid-October, as Austria now trying to get into the Wales penalty area. The ball is cleared, and it's with Alaba. Now he plays it square to Dragovic. Dragovic now chips it towards the left-hand side for Marko Arnautovic, and he's got a few players to aim for inside the area, but he just plays it short to Alaba. He then goes into the box himself. I think he was expecting a ball from Alaba. Eventually it's Wimmer who plays the ball in from the left-hand side. It's just a little bit overhit, and I think they're appealing that maybe Sabitzer was just climbing on the Wales defender. I'm not so sure if the referee's given a free kick in the end or not. I think he has actually given a free kick because we've got around 4 minutes plus injury time to go in this first half, and I think that Wales have seen so little of the ball in attack, but they've still managed to contain Austria for the most part. So I think Coleman would, if he does want to go on and try and win in the second half, then there's definitely enough scope to do that.
Yeah, there is. I think he'll be relatively pleased. I think if you gave him one all at half time, he'd be pretty happy. The frustration would be that they took the lead and then just conceded so early, and with their first real chance for Austria after Wales had scored, so that would be a bit frustrating for him. But as you said, the lack of ball inside the Austrian half is something they need to work on, and I still think, as you say, Wales can go up a couple of gears. They
certainly can, and I would imagine that Austria could as well, but they've had a lot of the ball and they've just chosen not to put too much pressure on this Wales defence, just to keep possession in midfield. Wales have won a free kick. It's good 45 yards out, if not further, in fact, but it's over on the left-hand side, so it gives a chance for Joe Allen to put in an in-swinger. It's a good strong header away, though, from Baumgartlinger. He looks fine after that earlier knee scare. The ball is back with Joe Allen. He plays it down the left-hand side for Bale. I was going to say it's a clever back heel from Bale because I think he was hoping to get a deflection off Arnautovic to win a throw, but in the end it didn't catch any Austrian player. Bale's still trying to win the ball back, and he does well. He puts a bit of pressure on Junuzovic, and that gives a chance now for Joe Allen to pick up the loose ball. It's still at the edge of the area, and now Ashley Williams is still further forward. He tries to break into the area there, and that's a bit of a poor challenge as well from Ashley Williams, and bit of theatrics there from Dragovic. I'm not so sure the referee's interested in booking Ashley Williams here. And Williams there is just, well, let's hope he doesn't book him, because certainly the reaction from the referee at first wasn't one to book Ashley Williams, but Dragovic, he's certainly looking as though he's been shot through that leg.
Yeah, and to be fair, the referee's telling him to get up, which is good, because, I mean, that was so theatrical. Kakir goes over and you're thinking, oh, he's going to book here. But there's not much contact, really. You know, there's nothing on, no studs, no boot.
Let's see if there's any. Is there anything in the afters? No, there's nothing in the afters either.
Credit to the referee who's told him, and he's giving him a word now. Don't make a meal of it. Get on with it. And for me, that's good refereeing. At first, I thought he was going to get over, and because of the reaction of the play, you thought Williams could be in bother. Yeah,
well, we said before the game, didn't we, that Kunit Kakir is a very hot and cold referee. Sometimes he comes across as one of the most level-headed in UEFA games, and then other times he just seems like he wants to book players for talking out of turn. So it's good to see him just taking a bit more of a pragmatic approach there. And it's 5-5 in terms of fouls committed. It's not been a dirty game at all. 10 fouls for 40-odd minutes of football isn't bad at all, really. And no cards so far in this first half, as a long ball is played over the top, and it needed that header there from Martin Hinteregger, because if he doesn't get a connection on that, Vokes was through, and he would have been through one-on-one. Alaba now in possession on the halfway line, goes back towards Florian Klein, and now it's the actor, Dragovic, just keeping the ball in the centre circle. Still 0-0, by the way, between Ireland and Georgia. That's a score that they'll have to change by the end of the game. They can't allow themselves to not pick up 3 points at home to Georgia. Turkey have pulled a goal back, by the way, and there's a chance though for Austria. The flag does go up though. Arnautovic with a volley from a long ball over the top, but even before he made a connection, the flag was up.
I mean, it's a great shot and a great save. Neither striker nor keeper knew that the flag was going up for that one. I'm trying to think how he hit that. Was it on a volley, or it came over his shoulder from about 30 yards? And we'll see it again. Again, it's Alaba pulling the strings. He is offside.
He is, but not by much. Not by much. He's
but
just
it comes over the top. And he hits on the half volley, and that is a great technique. A lot of players would just sky that into the. I know there's a track, but they probably reach the stance from there.
I mean, it's to be able to let that bounce and still get a good connection like that. It just goes to show. I mean, Arnautovic is a very technically gifted player. It's just a shame that he's, I suppose whether it's his character, whether it's his mood, whatever it is, he just sometimes doesn't show it. We're into the last 30 seconds of regulation time in this first half, and it's going to be a throw on to Wales right at the edge of the penalty area. So an old skill now being reignited from Gareth Bale, the long throw. And there's a whole line of Wales players waiting for this one as Bale puts it into the 6-yard box. It's headed, oh no, it's saved by Alma, and then the rebound, it's in the back of the net. And right into injury time, Wales are back in front in Vienna. It was originally saved by Alma, but then the loose ball drops to one of the Wales players. We still can't see exactly who scored it. I think it's, is that Chester who's celebrating the goal? It may well be, but in any case, it's Wales now 2-1 up.
Yeah, I'll have to see this one. Again, we were talking about the long throw and that it could be dangerous. It's Chester with the initial header, and then it'll be an own goal. Is it Dragovic who's down on the floor? We'll see it again. Ball comes off.
It is Dragovic.
It hits Dragovic and then goes in the back of the net. So fantastic. Well,
actually, no, is it Dragovic? No, I don't think it is. I think it might be this replay. We'll get it right this time.
I think it's Wimmer, number 5.
It is Wimmer. You're absolutely right. It's Kevin Wimmer who's trying to block James Chester, and then the ball just cannons off his right leg. It's in the back of the net.
Well, Wales have retaken the lead in Vienna, and well, it all came from a Gareth Bale long throw, and they looked dangerous at those throws earlier in the game. Vokes managed to flick the ball on. James Chester was there to head it towards goal. Alma made a great save, but knocked it back onto Kevin Wimmer, who knew nothing about it really. But his was the final touch, and the ball goes into the back of the Austrian net, and that means that Wales have a 2-1 lead at half-time. it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time in Vienna, and it's Austria 1, Wales 2. Joe Allen gave the visitors the lead on 22 minutes with a fantastic half volley. It's been a good night for Stoke players, with Marko Arnautovic heading past Wayne Hennessy after a fine ball from David Alaba on 28 minutes to level things up. But Wales just took the lead just before the break. Kevin Wimmer with an own goal after James Chester's header was saved by Robert Almer. Well, it's half-time. Well, we'll leave that there as we're about to kick off for the second half in Vienna. Decent first half, with Wales leading by 2-1. Joe Allen getting the scoring up and running on 22 minutes. A fine half volley. And Marko Arnautovic with a crafty little header past Wayne Hennessy. Got them back on level terms. And Kevin Wimmer, own goal, gave Wales the perfect enter the first half. So a great time for Wales to get back in front. They didn't really do a great deal in the Austrian half, despite getting a couple of goals. But Paul, what do you think that Chris Coleman would have been saying to his side at half time?
I think he would have been saying that they probably just gave Austria a little bit too much time on the ball at times when Austria were trying to attack. But I think he'd be very pleased with the way that Wales held out and didn't go too gung-ho in the attack, and yet still came in 2-1 up at half-time. We just saw Ramazan Özkan, one of the substitute goalkeepers there for Austria. He was just standing there. It looked like he was taking his training kit off and he was going to be coming onto the pitch, but he's just sat back down with his bench coat on. Maybe it's just a case that they're keeping him warm, and if it turns out that Robert Almer can't play on. Yeah,
Almer was receiving some treatment during that first half, so and there were concerns that he might not be able to continue, but he will start the second half, so it's as you were for both teams. And as I said, Wales will be delighted with their efforts so far, but the key is to keep Austria out for as long as possible. They after scoring, it only took 6 minutes for Austria to get back on level terms, and that will have frustrated Chris Coleman. So I think he would have been preaching that at the break. You know, we've got our 2-1 lead. Let's keep it tight and keep Austria quiet.
I think so. I think Wales have got a strong enough midfield to keep Austria quiet. They've got 3 very experienced centre-backs playing. That's a very loose ball, though. This could be a chance for Austria.
Well, it's Arnautovic who can drag the ball back. As I said, an error from Wales as Hennessy puts his laces through that and gets it clear, but that's exactly what you don't want to be doing. A loose back pass allowed Arnautovic to get forward. The fact that he didn't have too many options in support, I think it caught the other Austrian players off guard how poor that back pass was.
It did, yeah. I mean, we're going to we see the best teams in the world doing this because defenders and goalkeepers now are taught to play from the back, no long clearances, all short ball, and it does mean that you're going to get situations where defenders will leave it a little bit short, and that was a real good opportunity for Austria, well recovered in the end. Now, Junuzovic has been fouled by Ben Davis. And this is about 25 yards out, so this is a good opportunity now for Austria from this free kick.
Yeah, free kick in a very dangerous position, and Wayne Hennessy is just trying to sort out his wall, decent and just enough distance as well where the players can get it up and over the wall. So this should be really testing Hennessy from here. It could be that man Junuzovic to take this one. He looks like he's lining this up with the right-footed option. Alaba's there as well, but doesn't look really like he's going to be taking this one. As Junuzovic with a strike, and it's saved by Hennessy. As I said, from that distance you have to really get it up and over, but ultimately maybe too sensual.
Yeah, I think he was focusing so much on just getting this over the wall that he got absolutely no curl on it whatsoever, and Hennessy could almost have saved that standing up. He just moved a couple of paces over and dives with the ball in the end. But it was a free kick on target, but you can't really say much more than that. It was never going to threaten Hennessy, really.
No, he got a nice action on it. It was one that if it actually had been a lot closer to goal, he got so much dip on it that it could have been a great opportunity. Here is a great opportunity for Austria. It's Arnautovic with the strike. And he scored for Austria. He's back on level terms. Exactly what Wales didn't need. It's his second goal of the evening. An error at the back for the Welsh. And Arnautovic gets them back on level terms.
He does. The Wales will be furious at that. It was just a loose ball, lost on the halfway line. Arnautovic then picks it up, runs all the way to the edge of the area and tucks it past Wayne Hennessy. It's Joe Allen who just puts a loose ball through, and it's miscontrolled. Who was that who miscontrolled it? It looked like it might have been Chester. Yeah, James Chester. And then Arnautovic does the rest. And I think he even got a deflection off the shot as Arnautovic was taking it, but it's 2-2.
Well, it's a shocking start from Wales in this second half, and they've allowed Austria back into this one. They threatened that with a poor back pass earlier, but it is Marko Arnautovic who has his second goal of the game. It was a loose pass from... well, it was actually a decent pass from Allen, but Chester with a poor touch, and then Arnautovic burst through unopposed, got his strike away, did take a slight deflection off Ben Davis, but it was goal bound anyway, and the worst possible start for Wales in this second half. Still find themselves on level terms, but Chris Coleman won't be a happy man in Vienna.
He'll be a furious man in Vienna, Chris Coleman, a centre-back himself, of course. He won't care for that kind of giving away a possession, particularly when you consider that Wales did well to soak up a lot of the pressure in the first half. They got a goal in the first minute of injury time, and then just 2.5 minutes into the second half, they find themselves level again. But they get a throw on here down the left-hand side. It's a good 30 yards away from goal. It's not going to stop Gareth Bale, though. He's going to send a long and flat ball from his hands straight into the penalty area. Here comes the ball from Bale now. It's a bit of height on it as well, and it's all the way into the 6-yard box. The loose ball may drop to Ledley, but Arnautovic is back there and he gets a clearance. It will be a throw on to Wales now on the right-hand side.
Yeah, disappointing from Chester there. It was just a timid touch, wasn't it? And there was nothing particularly wrong with the Joe Allen back pass. But Chester takes a touch. Gunter doesn't know what to do with there, as we might going to see our first card of the game, and Arnautovic can't keep himself out of the action. He's going to get the first yellow card of the game. I didn't see that challenge.
He had his arm up there, Marko Arnautovic, and he's doing his best sort of what me look about him now, but I think he knows exactly what he was doing there. It was Chris Gunter, and as he gets past Gunter, he just puts a hand and then an elbow as well. On a different day, a different angle and a different referee, that could even be a red card. I mean, it's the push into the side is bad enough, but then the elbow into the face is a really nasty one.
I think he knows exactly what he's doing there, and it is really the point of the elbow that catches Gunter right on the schnoz.
I'll tell you what, though, if Gunter did the same elbow back to Arnautovic, he'd still be on the floor now, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would be. Yeah, he's theatrical at times, is Arnautovic, but it's a free kick now for Wales as Bale puts a decent ball in, almost goes all the way through, and Alma was brought into action in the end. I thought that could just skip off the surface. It was a deep ball put in by Bale, and maybe that was part of his plan as well. Just if that skips off, no one gets a touch, Alma could have been in a bit of bother.
Those are the best free kicks, aren't they? The ones that if they get a touch, they'll just take it away from the goalkeeper. But sometimes just the movement on the ball is enough to go into the back of the net. And Alma waited until very late, but he does make the save in the end. As we're just seeing Marcelo Colla there, just talking to the fourth official. He's not happy about something, but in the meantime, it's Austria in possession just on the halfway line.
Yeah, they are, and they'll be delighted with how they started this second half. And again, just more frustration for Wales. Twice they've had the lead, and they've looked comfortable, but as soon as Austria get a chance, they've gone up the other end and scored. Saying to Paul at half time, it seems strange that we've had 4 goals in this game. The quality hasn't been outstanding, but a couple of errors from Wales at the back, an own goal and a wonder goal from Joe Allen, and suddenly we've got 4 goals.
Yeah, it's been a very I was going to say it's been a very open game. It hasn't been a very open game, really. It's been quite cagey at times, but when either side have really pushed at each other, they're finding chances, and now both sides were appealing corner kick or goal kick, and in the end the referee is of the opinion that it was a corner kick, and it will be Austria's 5th.
Yeah, it's Junuzovic who will be taking this one. Certainly decent from the set pieces, and puts another decent ball in, headed away at the near post by Vokes, who's got back and helped out with the defensive duties. Junuzovic again puts a ball in across the face of goal, will work its way towards the back post. Wimmer's there, can get a cross in. Oh, it's just about cleared by Chester, making up for that as Alaba will clip that one over the crossbar. Disappointing, and just didn't get there in time, and then he has to commit, and it's a half volley that goes over the post.
Yeah, it wasn't the best really from Alaba there in the end. We're just seeing a replay of that goal from Arnautovic again. Just picks it up after that loose control from Chester. And it's a decent finish. I thought there may have been a slight deflection as that was going in. There was a couple of mistakes there really, and Chester was the main one for not really getting a touch. I think it may have just got a slight deflection as Hennessy was coming across. It was probably going on target anyway. Here come Austria again. I can tell you that Ireland have broken the deadlock against Georgia. Our colleagues doing their game were saying that it really was a half where actually Georgia could have looked to take the lead, but Seamus Coleman's in the news this evening, but Seamus Coleman has put Ireland 1 up against Georgia there.
Has, and that's a big goal for Ireland. Yeah, the lads were none too plussed about Ireland's performance in that first half, so decent start for them. Going back to the second Arnautovic goal, Chris Gunter's there and he gives up so easily. Arnautovic isn't the quickest player on the field, but Gunter, he was already about 3 yards back, and then he sort of gave up the ghost.
I'd like to think that Gunter could win a race against Arnautovic if Arnautovic has got the ball, or at least Gunter should try, shouldn't he? As you say, I think he just made his mind up very quickly that he was never going to get that. As Ben Davis there just brought down by Sabitzer, and this will be a free kick to Wales. Wales just need a couple of minutes like they did in the first half, where they just control the ball in midfield, but they can just set the tempo, because at the moment you feel as though they're just tolerating or putting up with whatever Austria are trying to create.
Yeah, they are. As they're just down on the deck receiving treatment, it looks like Callan, and well, the sign, the universal sign for substitution to be made is up, and that's a real blow for Wales. Joe Allen, the scorer of the opening goal of this evening, is coming off, and will be interesting. They've got a few options for Wales on the bench, They've got O'Kane, who's a possibility, but this will be a big indication to how Coleman wants to go about the game.
Absolutely, absolutely, it will. That will be a very interesting thing to see who he actually brings on. Now that we know that Joe Allen can't carry on, and it's a real shame because he scored a lovely goal in the first half. He's such a big player, Joe Allen, and his teammate there from Stoke, Marko Arnautovic, is patting him on the back. They'll see each other towards the back end of next week, of course.
Apologies, not okay. I was thinking about, I saw the Republic of Ireland bench at half time to see what they could be doing, but there are obviously options for Wales, and well, I'm sure Chris Coleman's made his call, and we'll see what he can do.
Well, they need to make their minds up quickly, of course, because at the moment they are down to 10 men, Wales, although they are trying to push forward now with Bale.
Here he comes forward now. He just loses possession. Sliding challenge there from Baumgartlinger means that Alaba now has the ball, and Austria just got their tails up at the moment and playing with a bit of confidence. Ball out to Janazovic, who's certainly getting involved in the game a bit more now. Sort of a diminutive number 10, classic sort of number 10 build, and from the set pieces he's looked dangerous, as Baumgartlinger, the skipper, who had an injury scare of his own in the first half, threads the ball through to Alaba on the edge of the Welsh area. Plenty of grey and green shirts back for Wales, just trying to keep the red shirts at bay as a flicked header goes and it flashes across the face of goal harmlessly, and much to the relief of Wayne Hennessy.
Yeah, I'll be happy to see that one go over Wayne Hennessy. Couldn't get much direction on that one, Mark Janko, and we are going to see the change now, and it looks like it's Wolverhampton's David Edwards coming on.
So Edwards on for Allen, so disappointment for Wales that Allen's had to go off injured, and that'll be more nerves for Mark Hughes as well.
You can certainly do without Joe Allen being out at the moment. The way Stoke have been playing, he's pretty much their only bright spark in what's been a very difficult start to the season.
So Edwards on, and he will be looking to prove a point as the ball comes across the face of goal, and Almo will claim that one comfortably. It was lofted up nice and deep. He's not happy, is he, Almo?
He's going to be going off here. He's caught the ball, Robert Almo, then he's just thrown it out into touch himself, and he's just kneeling down inside the penalty area now, and it looks like the Austrian number 1 is going to be replaced.
Yes, he is, and
we saw Ozcan warming up before. I'm assuming there's going to be another goalkeeper on the bench as well. Just trying to see who that is. I think it's Andreas Luxer is the other one. He's a 28-year-old. Looking at how many games he's had for the national team, though, he's been called up a couple of times, but he's never actually played a match for Austria as yet. And Austria are just checking on Marko Arnautovic as well. He's got some pain in his left ankle. This could be one of the worst times for Mark Hughes, even if Wales do go on to him. But it is actually going to be Ramazan Ozcan who's going to be coming on for Austria. And that's always an interesting one for the opposition, isn't it? Try and test the sub-keeper, get a few crosses in, try and bump into him with a bit of contact, shots along the ground, especially if it's a slippery surface. It's just a case of whether Wales want to commit that many players further forward.
Well, I'm surprised they kept Almo on the pitch. Surely they would have done tests over half-time just to test out. Looks like it's a possible ankle injury. But they were happy to let him come back out, maybe just to see how things go, and Ozcan has been brought on. So, as you say, a great opportunity to test. Oh, it could be a calf problem there. He was just grabbing the back of his calf. Clearly he felt something, and when he collected that ball, and Ozcan is the man brought into the fold. So we're approaching the hour mark, and Robert Alma's evening's over. He's had 2 goals in, but he's also brought in some decent saves, and his gesture to the physio there, that something's gone in his calf, and that will be a bit painful.
Certainly will be. I mean, the goalkeeper that's come on, Ramazan Ozcan, he's been playing for Bayer Leverkusen this season, although he's not actually started a game for them yet this season. He was at Ingolstadt for a good 4 or 5 seasons before that. He's had a few appearances for Austria, stretching all the way back to 2008, but he has always been a sub-keeper, and in the 8 years that he's been getting called up, he's played just 7 times.
So yeah, he'll be shocked as anyone that he's been brought on, as another man goes down, and is Janko, who's just been clattered into by Chester. Chester saying that he's had the ball. Kakir, the referee, was pretty close to that.
He's pretty close to it. He seems to be in his light mode this evening, Kunya Kakir, because again, I thought that was a pretty heavy collision there from James Chester. I don't think there was too much intent in that, but the referee was almost just sort of pleading to him, come on, just don't do that again. But In the end, I thought Alaba was going to try and send one into the box, but he just plays it short, and it's still in possession on the halfway line.
Which is a bizarre choice because all the centre-backs have come forward. Comes to nothing, although they've actually won themselves a free kick in an even better place. Again, more Welsh players saying that...
somebody's getting booked here as well, and now the Welsh players are surrounding Cunha Kakira, and they're not happy about something. We were still getting shots of the ball going out of place. We didn't actually see what Ben Davies was alleged to have done, but Ben Davies is in the book. Let's just see as he tried to... Well, he's holding a player at the edge of the area. Well, I suppose it is a foul, whether or not that's a nailed-on yellow card straight away, but this is a bad free kick for Wales to give away in a good position for Austria.
Yeah, Md.Robeul, I was impressed with his technique from about 30 yards. He got the ball up and down.
That was over on the left, though, wasn't it? This may be...
Yeah, this might be
Alaba
more
might fancy this
Alaba's sort of range and angle. But Alaba looking intently over this one. He might be pulling rank, but either way, options left and right as Alaba steps up and he places that one over the crossbar. Never really got the dip he was looking for.
No, well, Junuzović's previous effort was well struck. He made sure it was over the wall and on target, whereas Alaba went more for power. He certainly got it over the wall, but it was always heading over the bar as well.
Well, just a little conversation there with Sabitzer and Ashley Williams. Williams didn't seem interested at all in continuing that debate. Sabitzer not happy about something, but as we see that Serbia 3-0 up against Moldova, and Republic of Ireland, of course, leading against Georgia. So
Spain have taken the lead against Italy, away in Italy as well.
Away in Italy, so the Republic of Ireland are the only home team leading in the World Cup qualifiers this evening. They're bucking the trend, which is good news for the home nations.
Just tell you as well, it was Vitolo that put Spain 1-0 up on 55 minutes.
So Spain leading that mouthwatering clash against Italy, as Edwards just looking to get involved in this game a bit more. Again, very similar to the first half, not seeing a great deal of Wales with the ball inside the Austrian half, running at defenders. I mean, in that respect, it's been quite a quiet game for Gareth Bale, but through no fault of his own, he's put himself about, but they're not looking for him, which is remarkable.
They're not looking for... There's not enough attacking possession, really, for Wales in the second half to work out exactly what they're trying. I mean, Bale, very clever play from Gareth Bale there. The ball was going out for a goal kick, no problem at all. Then Bale, just the slightest flick of the left foot into Hinteregger, who couldn't stop himself, flicks off him, and Wales, pretty much as a bonus, just get a corner kick.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. They need to be doing more stuff like that, just getting it to him on the deck, running at defenders. If they get something from this set piece, it'll all been thanks to Gareth Bale, as they have 4 players lining one after another right behind each other in a line. They're all going to spread out. Can they cause Austria problems? Ball in towards the back post. Head go up. Tried to flick it over, but that's gone in behind for a goal kick. I think the referee's actually blown for a free kick, maybe against Gareth Bale.
Possibly, but I mean, 2 Wales players went down as that corner kick came in. Referee wasn't interested in that, and then as soon as one of the Wales players went up to head it, that's when the referee gave a free kick. So perhaps he just spotted somebody jumping up a little bit there, as we seeing Chris Coleman just I won't say he's getting agitated, but he just seems to be... I think this is a crucial time as well. 62 minutes gone, it's 2-2, and we're just under half an hour to go. I suppose he has to decide whether or not Wales keep it as it is, or they try and mix it up a little bit.
He was, and I'm sure he'll have concerns about Joe Allen, because I think once you take the likes of Allen, Joe Ledley, Aaron Ramsey and Gareth Bale out of that team, you look at the bench and it's basically a Championship League One bench.
It is. I mean, that might sound quite harsh, but it's absolutely true. If you look at the names on there, and it's fantastic that a small footballing nation, if I can say that without sounding patronising, like Wales can
as Austria try and get the ball across the face of goal, as Ashley Williams has to boot that one out of play. He's trying to appeal for a throw in there, but clearly goes out for a corner kick. And
it's always worth asking, isn't it?
It is worth asking, but it was ambitious, really.
I think so, yeah. But this is what Wales have to be very careful of. It's a corner on the right-hand side, so you're going to get a stinging in-swinger here from left-footed Alaba.
Yeah, Alaba will put plenty of whip and dip on this one. And bodies in there towards the back post. Heads go up and it's headed away by Chester. Again, a poor touch, and that's great for Wales because they can get it up clear. Maybe an opportunity for the counter-attack here. Neil Taylor has the opportunity, but I can't find Gareth Bale with a touch.
He was a bit unlucky. Yeah, there was a bit of a deflection on the ball that Taylor put across to Bale, and that just took it away from the Real Madrid man. And we've not seen too much of Neil Taylor in this game this evening. Just, I suppose that's because Wales haven't really been attacking too much, so he hasn't had a chance to get down the left-hand side.
Been a bit of a lull in this game, remarkably. We've had 4 goals, and it's still 2 goals apiece in Vienna. Austria still looking a bit more dangerous. Bad news for Wales is that Joe Allen has picked up a knock and has been forced to come off. David Edwards has been brought on, but the Welsh ranks looking pretty sparse now in the middle of the park with the loss of Allen. With no Aaron Ramsey this evening. Gareth Bale has been pretty quiet. They've not really found him enough for my liking in this match. When he has had touches, he's looked fantastic, but just not getting it to him enough. But Wales certainly still competitive in this game. It's still Austria 2, Wales 2.
It is still 2-2, and it's Austria just in possession in their own half over on the left-hand side with Hinteregger. And he was looking to try and get a long ball further down, but he just stops it momentarily, and eventually his pass is easily picked off there by David Edwards. It goes out for a throw to, I think it's gone out for a throw to Austria after all of that. Although I think the home side were looking for perhaps even a free kick. Kunyakaki is very clear that that's just going to be a throw on. Croatia now go 4-0 up away at Kosovo. And it's still 1-0 to Ireland against Georgia, but they'll be happy with that. They'd probably like to get a couple more goals in, but Georgia aren't a whipping boy. You don't score 7 or 8 against Georgia. If you score 2 or 3 away from home and say 3 or 4 at home, I think you say you've had a good result.
Yeah, I think judging by that first half performance, they'll bite your hand off for 1-0. Some damning assessment of the Republic of Ireland from that first half, but yeah, when it's not really been your evening, if you can still get the victory, that's the main thing. Is Neil Taylor getting involved a bit more now, but it's a foul on Klein, and it's again, it's another free kick, another set piece.
It's a dangerous one here when we can see Alaba trotting over to it straight away because it's right over on the right-hand side, so it will suit his left foot.
Yeah, Junazovic was lurking there, likes a set piece, but as Paul says, great opportunity for Alaba with the in-swinger. Just will be asking for someone to get a touch on this one, as it's a dangerous ball put in, but it's actually far too close to Hennessy, who will claim that one quite comfortably and launches it upfield towards Bale, who's watching this one come down, and he wins his side of throw and does really well there, and gets Wales on the move. Ball up towards Vokes. I forgot he's on the pitch as he tries to turn. It's not even Vokes as Andy King has worked his way forward. Where's Sam Vokes gone?
There is Sam Vokes gone. Well, it's a similar question to when we mentioned we didn't see much of Neil Taylor. There's just not enough attack for us to see these forward players. I mean, Taylor obviously is a defender by trade, but he gets the forward down the left-hand side. Vokes is an out-and-out striker. At least I suppose the one good thing you can say about Andy King's attempt at crossing it there is it deflects off an Austrian player, and Wales do have a corner.
Well, again, it is an opportunity to get the ball in, and again, it's this tactic of getting all 4 players, one behind the other, in a line. Looks like they're queuing for the dinner, as here comes the ball in towards the back post again. Launched up, the heads go up, and that lands on the top of the netting. And I think it was Sam Vokes who got the header there, although it is James Chester who pans into our camera, who is running back to his position. I think he got it well. It was Chester. Maybe Vokes got in his way a wee bit.
A little bit. I think that Vokes does get in his way, certainly. I think that Chester, by seeing Vokes in front of me, instinctively will have to just angle his full head up a little bit more, which sends that ball over the bar.
Disappointing there, and Chester was muttering some, I think, expletives under his breath there as he marched back. Knew he should have perhaps done better with that opportunity, but still Wales in a very good position in this game. We've reached the 3/4 stage of this one. It's hard to tell which way this game will go, or whether Wales be able to battle it out for a draw, but it's going to be Paul to take us through to full time.
Thank you very much, Alex. And just as you say that, it's Austria trying to push forward with Arnautovic, but his flick towards the penalty area is overhit. No chance for anyone in a red Austrian shirt to get anywhere near that one. So it will be a goal kick now to be taken by Wayne Hennessy, as we just see Marcelo Coller there just pointing to his forward. I think he's asking for his players to think a bit more, because really Austria have already been in front. I've already gone back into this game twice. They don't really want to have to be behind for a third time.
No, they don't. I mean, they have been lucky in that regard that Wales just haven't killed this game off when they've gone ahead. I mean, maybe that is a bit of naivety from Wales. Obviously, this unit has been together, but maybe just missing key personnel, of course, that in the form of Ramsey, that's maybe allowed Austria back into this game. The key is that having been ahead twice, Wales don't go behind.
Well, Wales have just been caught in possession inside their own half, and Alaba now plays the ball in. Has the flag gone up? The flag has gone up. In any case, Arnautovic's shot was charged down by Ashley Williams. So nothing would have counted there. And is he offside? Yes, he is. No, I'll tell you, there wasn't much in it, though. I mean, if he just waited another second, he would have been level there with Ashley Williams, Marko Arnautovic, but he carried on his run. And then the flag quite rightly goes up. But it's just as easy as that. Wales really do have to be careful, because Austria have already proven that they can get past this Wales defence on 2 occasions this evening. Hennessy now to take this free kick for that offside.
That's the problem. Wales have switched off twice, and have been punished both times, really, in this game. Arnautovic brace, but going back to the offside, it was close because it had Ashley Williams back scrambling. I don't think he knew which way it was going.
No, and so we get a quick shot from the edge of the area now from Sam Vokes, just to remind us that he is on the pitch. But the ball dropped to him without too many problems, really. He hit it on the volley, lost a bit of balance, but I think he was unhappy. He felt that perhaps Julian Baumgartlinger was fouling him there. Baumgartlinger, obviously, his facial expression suggests quite the opposite. He's sort of checking his mouth and his cheek there, thinking that he might have been struck.
But Bale was asking for it, wasn't he? Because you can imagine Gareth Bale, a free kick from there against a new keeper like Ozcan.
He absolutely loved that, yeah. He embarrasses first choice keepers, so he'd certainly have a lot of fun with his substitute, as Marko Janko has done absolutely nothing in this game, really. At least wins his side a free kick. It's still quite a long way out, but the referee's just telling the Austrians to wait until he's whistled. That last one was taken while the ball was still moving. It's a bit of a shove in the back there from Ashley Williams on Mark Janko.
The free kicks that Austria have won on the edge of the area, they've been pretty smart. I think they know that Wales are being quite physical in that regard, and they're making it quite obvious when they go to floor, but they're winning the free kicks.
And conversely, the Austrians aren't fouling Wales in these positions there, because they know exactly what a free kick 25-30 yards out against Wales will mean. It will mean some sort of spinning or a turning pile driver from Gareth Bale as the free kick is floated into the box. Arnautovic was closest to it. The flag doesn't go up. The Wales players are all standing there waiting for an offside, which never came. Wimmer now plays a short ball back towards Arnautovic on this left-hand side. He plays it into the penalty area now, and Alaba doing his best to try and win the ball. Eventually, he actually brings down James Chester and gives a free kick away. But he's a very tricky player, Alaba, and you always think that he might just be able to win that ball back there.
He was, yeah, he is, but a bit of a rugby tackle, I think, in the end on Chester. He gets the arms around him, and Chester was, well, he was pretty shrewd there. Well, he actually does just get brought down, does Chester, and
just make sure his body's in the way there.
Yeah, he does, but good defending, and Alaba knows exactly what he's done. Gives him a handshake there to Chester. That's what we like to see, and they get on with it.
Certainly do. Just to run you through the scores very quickly, it's Macedonia 1, Israel 2, Iceland 1, Finland 2, Ireland 1, Georgia 0, Italy 0, Spain 1, Kosovo 0, Croatia 4, Liechtenstein 0, Albania 2, Moldova 0, Serbia 3, and Turkey 1, Ukraine 2. And of course it is 2-2 in our game with about 17 minutes to go, plus a bit of stoppage time. And it's Austria, you would say, who still have the lion's share of possession. As this ball goes into the penalty area, the flag will go up, though Mark Janko just wasn't watching the line there. He's already wagging his finger there. He's saying he wasn't offside. I do like that when players do that and then the replay proves otherwise. Ooh, he is offside. Not by much, but say a body's width, you would say that I think that he just went a little bit too early there, Mark Janko.
Yeah, Chris Gunter nearly playing him on there. So it was pretty close. But yeah, the old finger wag when they're offside is.
It's the same as pointing to the ball when you've just done a horrible tackle. Yeah. So yeah, I always think, yeah, well, the ball is there, but you got nowhere near it, and that's why you're being sent off or booked or whatever it might be. as the ball is now in possession with Martin Hinteregger. Sends a high ball towards Janko. It's headed away from him though, and now a chance for Wales to break out. Ledley just plays it square. Neil Taylor leaves this one in the end, and here comes his second left back, you could say, Ben Davies. He plays it back into the middle now for Andy King. Davies again looking to cross it, but his cross is charged down. Gets a big old deflection there off Sabitzer, and it's out for a throw to Wales, but it's right by the penalty area, so we may see a long ball from Gareth Bale.
Yeah, and that's caused problems throughout. That's where the goal just before half-time came from, the own goal from Kevin Wimmer. So, yeah, I mean, these balls have been fantastic, and the fact that he's been able to get the throw-ins in such wet conditions, he does take his time to dry it, but once he's got that grip sorted, he can really wang him.
Certainly can, and it's another great throw from Bell, going straight into the 6-yard box. It's just headed away. I think it was Dragovic who got the final head away there for Austria. The ball is back on the halfway line.
They're so horrible to deal with, aren't they? Because the trajectory of them is so low and direct that it's so difficult for defenders to align.
I suppose you could say that it behaves so differently to when you kick it into the penalty area. I suppose a cross doesn't sort of just lose its flight the way that a throw-on does, and certainly something, as I say, if Zidane isn't using that to Real, I would throw it in a couple of times a game just to...
They need it after 4 draws in a row.
They certainly do. They certainly do. They've been giving points away, Real Madrid, and they need to get back to winning ways as soon as possible. I mean, not winning for 4 games is a crisis at the Bernabeu, isn't it? But there's another throw-on to Wales now on the right-hand side this time, but it's still going to be Gareth Bale. He sends a bit more spin on this one, and the ball ends up at the edge of the 6-yard box. It really was a good throw. It's headed away back towards Gareth Bale. He gets past Alaba with ease. He gets all the way to the goal line, plays it across. Goalkeeper makes a partial save, and there's nobody there for the rebound for Wales when I thought there was pretty much a tap-in. There was a chance for Junizovic to bring that one out for Austria, but Chris Gunter dispossessed him, and then a huge ball played back into the Austrian penalty area is to no one at all. There's nobody in a black Welsh shirt anywhere near that one, and it's out for a goal kick. So we see Bale he gets past Arnautovic and Alaba as if they weren't there. Plays one right across the goal line. It's actually not a bad save from the keeper to palm it away, but he didn't get much distance on it. He was quite lucky there was nobody there in the Welsh shirt.
He was very lucky, but that's what we've been saying. We need the Welsh need to get Bale on the ball in attacking positions and with it on the deck. As you said, it went round Arnautovic and Alaba, 2 of Austria's better players, like they weren't there, and it was only fortunate for Ozcan that there was no Welsh player to tap that one home. It's
going to be a striker-for-striker change for Wales, and the Burnley striker Sam Vokes is going to be replaced by the new West Brom striker Hal Robson-Kanu.
Well, I don't really see what Vokes has done this evening. For me, he's been pretty disappointing. He's just been he's been filling the Welsh shirt, but we haven't really seen a great deal from him. I thought, a big man, been able to hold it up. Maybe that's because of the way Wales have played, but you could have made this change at half-time.
I think so.